high mighty one.
I guess
Put on a clean t-shirt. I came here for more. Back to normal now.
What's normal?
Somewhat.
The building is operational, so.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
So this is pretty much everything we've already agreed on.
that is a difference. This is something different.
This is,
Yeah, there are notes from that. You have
Everybody's here.
this is your copy from April 9th. This is your
Okay.
store.
Both?
This is your store.
Okay. This one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Nice to see everyone here tonight. Thanks for coming over. Slightly cooler evening compared to earlier today. First, I wanted to allow Steve to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself, and then we'll start our discussion.
Well, my name is Steve Dury, and my second day at Rich County. I've been living here since 2010. I'm originally from Nemaha County. Formerly, I used to work for the tribe. I started working with them in 2003, and since 2009, I've been running the land office. And due to unforeseen circumstances, I got let go last summer. Here's now. Okay. So what I'm doing here to help out.
Do you want introductions? You are absolutely on target, and you boys are. So you want to inside.
Luke Kennedy. I live southwest of
No Fisher.
Chris Gordon.
Jason Murphy. What's your name again?
Steve Dury.
Bob Phillips.
Casey.
Yeah, but. Yeah, neighbor. Yeah.
Ready for us to continue our discussion? Based partly on what comment that Luke made at the last work session, and the made one prior about LSEX co-ops versus utility scale, possibly being more interested in seeing some LSEX, possibly in the county. I belatedly contacted some of the electric co-ops here, Brown Atchison, and then Blue Stem. I'm still working on Free State, which is everyone probably is aware, is the 2017 merger of Leavenworth Jefferson, which is the southeast part of Jackson, plus the southwest, which is Hall Valley. Okay. So we have feedback from Brown Atchison before you tonight. What I would suggest, if the board would agree with this, that we not make any changes based on Brown Atchison's tonight until we get the feedback from the other two. That way we're not, because they might disagree with what Brown Atchison provided. So if the board wants to, unless you want to start with something else, we could just go through this. This will be your first view of what Brown Atchison's comments are. And then if the board wants to proceed this way, if you have any questions, some of this, of course, you'll need to take some time to digest. I'll just look at it in the last hour or two myself. If we could let perhaps Steve know what those questions might be, say by next Wednesday, then we can come back in 2 weeks at our April 9th meeting and have the answers, not just to any questions that we have about Brown Atchison's comments, but also we have by that time hopefully any comments from the other two major co-ops. Does the board want to start with that, or do you want to start somewhere else on the? Seeing no objection, now we go ahead and just go through, let everybody look at the written comments that John Atchison has provided this evening, written by him, by the general manager in various places. I'm assuming you have a copy? Some of it, of course, is definition, issue related. Others are actual regulation related. As I see on page 3, there's some of that text that I believe, remember the vessel of the letter, remember missing the 4. And that 5th one. I'm assuming that you could email a copy of this to everyone.
Yes.
Next later, so they can double check for any missing text that got cut off.
Somebody who works in the electrical industry thought it should be considered case by case, maybe should be battery energy storage systems.
How many feet in a mile?
5,200 feet.
So they're saying that they can put solar panels within 1,320 feet of any existing residence.
That's what the board currently has in our proposed language.
Yeah, but then it's only within 100 feet of accessory buildings and agriculture. So that's all close.
to the conversion to the meter system.
Put 3,000 Kelvin. KELVIN. It's a temperature. How hot is that?
I mean, zero is nothing is absolutely.
Said that it can't, control temperature can't be more than that. That's hot.
That's a different kind of thing. That's not actually temperature, that's a wavelength. Color frequency. The color spectrum, yes. In 2020. Probably like brightness, I would assume. It's probably like brightness. You can buy the light bulbs that are daylight, like 6,000 K, or you can buy the ones that are soft white for 5,000 K, which is color temperature, so it is
Okay.
like a soft light, warm light.
Well, I just didn't know if we were talking about the light or use that kind of heat. Yeah, that's what I asked the question.
Yes.
very helpful feedback. Thank you for reaching out.
Sorry, it didn't occur earlier.
Yeah.
We were busy with other parts of the document.
I think we kind of knew that there was a lot of things that didn't pertain to the limited, and this kind of highlights some of that where we need to either have its own section or somehow didn't know which ones would work for that, and which ones won't, which parts of this.
Is there a way to get them the latest copy?
Sorry?
Is there a way to get them the latest copy to review? This one's a little bit older than the latest one we're working on.
Yeah, he pulled this from one of the ones on the internet. I don't know if it's.
This latest one that you have has your stuff put into it that you all haven't really talked about yet, as far as placement in them. So it's not on the website yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is everyone about ready to start discussion? We need a couple minutes.
I have a quick question, so you asked him just to to analyze this for the limited scale.
Right, because that's, theoretically, that's what, at least that's what we talk about, co-ops. And that's what again, probably wouldn't, I mean, maybe they could be right. Most of them have smaller systems.
You know what I'm saying? His input here was just considering limited scale.
Right, or it would apply, right, it would apply to limited scale.
On page 3, that number got cut off. What is that on mine anyway?
So it would be supposed to be for,
Yeah, there's a-
Anyway, you guys are going to do that.
Yeah, you're fine, you're fine.
that, yeah, said that.
Yeah, there's some other key letters, combinations.
I would guess that it says, I believe 20 acres is big enough. Is that probably correct?
That's probably the case. Yeah, something like 40 is better.
And that tends to make sense. But
Right. When we get the email copy, we'll be able to confirm.
We can just pull it up right away.
I guess my comment to that was if 20 acres wasn't enough, they could apply for 2. Because we allow more.
Recognizing that we have a distance requirement. We can get to it next to each other.
The distance requirement, he commented on, but that was, it couldn't be more than a half mile away from each other.
It's in it.
I think you're looking on page 7.
Yeah, is that where you're?
That's what I mean, we struck out that may not be within 2 miles of each other.
What is it do?
Looks like you're gonna, if you're interested in doing a limited scale, then you probably should have its own section. Whoever runs that, if they're trying to figure out which one goes to what.
Yeah, it's easier.
It's hard for us to understand, let alone the public, on this advance.
Yeah.
As applies to the electric utilities.
David, did you find out what illegal ruling is?
it's hard to do.
Illegal wheeling.
Yeah, it's, when you are buying, it's what businesses are doing. We're buying our electricity at this rate, but it has to come over Brown Atchison's lines, and it's trying to get around the regulations and trying to get out of paying Brown Atchison their fees. I don't see how it applies. I see what he's trying to imply, with the small limited scale could be using their lines to send it to.
That could be one of the things.
Yeah, I think that's what he's more concerned about, is that,
Consideration.
how are the members of this small group going to get it to their places? Are they going to have their own grid?
I think that may be in there, that if it was not a co-op that put it in, say it was an individual entity put it in. Well, net metering is when you turn the meter backwards. Like my house is set up on net metering. So when the sun's shining and I'm not using power, it's turning backwards. So I get it, in a co-op system, they wouldn't need net metering. But that's why I'm guessing that if there is.
Well, that's the illegal part. You don't have a deal with them to be spending your meter.
Well, the illegal, according to what Pete showed me,
AI.
it's an unauthorized transfer of electricity from a single generation source to power multiple properties or a different location through the utility grid. Violates regulations that require generation and consumption to be, what does it say? Allocated.
Co-location.
Co-located or within a single defined site. So I don't know how you would do that, to send power onto the grid and then pull it off of somewhere else. Without a transformer and a meter, I don't think you can look into the line.
I'd like your idea of possibly copying some of this to a specific section.
You can do it.
You're right.
Those are the associated with it. I would like to just note again that, I don't know if he was involved in the Brown County stuff, but the actual Brown County regulations are 2-page on this stuff. And so I think everybody's looked at that, so that should be kept in mind.
But they don't allow it.
Yeah, they don't have it geared toward what we're talking about.
Right.
So basically, they're leaving that up to the county to approve each individual plan. It seems like they need it correctly. I mean, they have their limitations and stuff, to protect the adjacent landowners and airports and residences. What you're gonna use those rest a little bit. That's fine.
Read 34 pages of stuff.
Yeah.
We you can see, he kinda quit making notes after a while.
Yeah, they were talking to us there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I was thinking of good comments.
Give you a headache.
Well, what I read Brown County stuff is, they put in limitations, and then whoever's putting it in has to come up with a plan that the county approves. And so, like Rick was saying last time, there's not a lot to litigate, because, I don't want to litigate. At least they're being directly involved in.
Which would be easy on a limited scale system, type of system. Much more difficult on a commercial utility scale.
Well, we get this set up like we want it, and then the county commissioner put it into the moratorium like the was pushing for. How long does this last that we do? Is it like a year or two, or?
Well, these would be in our system until they're rescinded.
That was my biggest question.
And they have the right to alter and change it and shape it to what they want. That's the commissioners. They're the elected officials.
These have nothing to do with the moratorium, the regulations.
Okay, well, I didn't know if they were setting the regulations up, if they decide to block it for 2 years or however, that the regulations that we set up stay, right?
We would still go forward with the regulations, yeah.
I would not be surprised that whatever we send to the county commission, obviously they'll look at them and provide their own feedback, so they might, there's a possibility they might send them back with, okay,
Yeah.
with suggested changes, which we would then, evaluate and take our own action before we send it back. Over. Do you want to do, gentlemen, do you want to, start trying to separate out, some concept specific meetings? You know, wait until we possibly get feedback from another 1 or 2 co-ops. I think that'd be better than not just going back a second or third time, because now we've got new feedback and we've got to go back.
I would say wait and see if we get more feedback from other deals. Because they might have found a loophole that us in Brown County didn't even have.
Yeah. And they'll also give us time to, each of us can look at Brown County's regulations just to see if they have a comparison.
They're easy to find here on their website, county website. If I'm reading right, it's resolution 2025-20. And they've got several different things on there about. There's only we got one for guidelines too. It was January 7th, 2026.
We're allowing 12 acres.
You've got guidelines page if you're related to solar.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
you know, it was related to that, is my impression, just from skimming over
Say January 7th.
it. It's under their zoning title, under their county commissioners. gets confusing, keeping that
This one we gave it to us, I think, 226 is when we received this one.
Everyone should probably put March 26th on the ground matches. Lucky to see that date.
We put 26 on the one here.
That's the newest.
Read all this
This is
stuff.
the one you
It
gave
never
us.
said whether they.
That one has Jason's
Vegetation, are they gonna mow it, what are they gonna do? It doesn't, it just says all the different kinds of vegetation that they're gonna have, but it, and it tells
Doesn't
the
look like
height and everything, but it doesn't say if they're gonna
Yeah. It's
keep it mowed or what they're gonna do.
Right today. I wrote this on some. Did we read on 26?
I printed off another set of these, I thought, 326. Is there 326 written on something that you guys have?
The one you just handed out
Those
today.
are we just ended up today. Vegetation, they're just talking about irrigation and stuff like that.
We're getting mixed up.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
I just want somebody else to feel like that.
This is it.
Okay, so this one's more for the.
I don't know, maybe it is. You're just giving you another copy of the same thing that I gave you last time.
We had a little meeting. We talked about the comp plan.
This one has those required agreements in it, so I don't know. what-
Oh, so, okay, I gave them to you
At our
during the
last work.
the comp plan.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
Got another copy. This one's nicer, it doesn't have black lines through it, so that's the copy. Oh, my.
Put these in there.
People want to talk about any other part of the, those regulations?
Jonathan, if I might,
Yes,
during the comments, before I was on this board, one of the times that I talked about the airport stuff. if you remember. And so I know you guys are working on it a little bit, but I would still like to, while you're at home looking at stuff, revisit what I proposed at that time, because I think it protects all the existing landowners who have airfield landing strips, however they're defined, because there's many different definitions and capabilities of the ways different people use stuff, and so I want to pass out again what I had passed out that night, and for everybody's consideration,
That's a new one, so.
that gives that,
That was
encouragement.
applicable to,
Page 26, maybe in some versions.
I don't know what page it is now, it was 26. The page hasn't changed page numbers. Yeah, so I'm still on page 26, number 14. I mean, the way I directed that,
That's 28.
that's what I'm at 26.
That's in the newest one. That's in the newest one.
Oh, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah, things have shifted because
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at Balfour one, yeah. You're right. So
It's
the
on
one,
28, number 14.
the one's on the colored one. Get back to that page. Number 14 near the bottom. The reason I wrote it the way it was is the first current one says that 5 miles of any military airfield or commercial airfield. Well, We don't have a military airport, we go to war commercial airport, and it's not 1 in a million chances we ever will. So those are really don't matter in this county's perspective. So I think the high road protects everybody out there and is essential for the safety of everybody in the community and that sort of thing. There's lots of small airports that we're going to use that may not be designated on the federal aviation maps, but they're still legitimate and still used.
So the only question I would have, not that I disagree with it, when does that windsock have to be placed in order for it to be recognized? Well, I mean,
If there's one at the time of the, I would say, time of the proposed solar project.
so if somebody got wind of the project coming in, they go out and throw up a windsock, and
Well, there, no, you are correct in that there has to be some reasonable landing.
I mean, the windsock is too vague. The wind indicator is too vague.
They would have to get a special use permit for an airstrip.
Right, but this says just anything identified by a wind indicator is acceptable as calling it. Where we have in here county approved airstrip, what we added, was it?
There's lots of strips that aren't county approved. And they're in fire or depends on your definition of airport.
Right. That's the only thing I just think is, once somebody gets an idea that that could be coming, that,
Well, I think we have to recognize the runway, which what I was trying to get was something that's recognized by.
right.
If it's not a reasonable distance at least, 800 feet or something like that, for a short. I don't think so.
We have a native name that over 30 years ago, the crowd busters would land on it. So we could go out there and throw up a windsock, say that's an airstrip, and then that moves this project 1 mile further away. So that's just the, it's just the one, yeah.
I think there would be some indication that was going to use it. For instance, recently my neighbor that ran in the field next to us, the bush type thing on top of the terrace several times. That doesn't contribute to airfield because they happen around. And that's an intermittent use that we're talking about too. That's just
True. I mean,
we'll have to revisit that. You know, everybody's consideration on that is what existing does it will protect what people.
so you would like to add that
Swap
to
it,
this, or
swap
take
it,
that out?
swap it, or something similar.
So you said starting on page 6.
Would have been on the old page 6.
Maybe that's a typo. So
26.
I did that really fast for that day. It was the old 26.
Standards for approval.
Yeah, maybe the standard for approval started on page 6. Yeah, that's what it was. That's section 3, and then down to 14. I think that was clear and very complicated.
Right, but I'm still, yeah, that second paragraph, one,
That's what I was proposing to insert in place of what existing at the time.
the existing one,
On page 28, number
Number
14.
14, where it's airports and airstrips.
okay.
I mean, you currently have 5 miles, and I haven't heard from anybody particularly, but as far as I'm concerned, the 1 mile radius around is sufficient to protect small landing strips.
It's on somebody else's property.
That's that.
It just sounds to me more like it's another example where, because they've got a plane over there, they can't use their property. That seems excessive, I mean, that seems
I'm just, it's
excessive.
proposed for safety for everybody. I mean, you gotta have a reasonable area to land.
What's wrong with the existing routing now?
Yeah, which I'd like to, I still haven't been able to figure out where it is.
Page 28,
28,
number 14.
thank you.
It does say that when he initially wrote this, that day for the public comment, we didn't have a county approved, it was only a military and a commercial airport.
Yeah.
Military and commercial in the county. So
Right,
we
but we have to have a airstrip that has a permit, right? So that would be a county.
There's a lot of them that don't, and they don't. For agricultural use, for agricultural use, they don't have to.
Well, one thing too, they've got, I know 3 or 4 places on the red, and one right in here for emergency helicopter landing, you know what I'm saying? So would that fall underneath the airstrip deal or what?
I don't think it would fall under an airstrip, because that's a helicopter landing area.
It's for emergency use, is what it is for.
If they-
Because that's the way, and they've got the air sock and everything hanging right there by it.
If it's on the rails, I don't think this covers it in there, does
Well, we've got it in Vienna, there's one that, you come into Vienna, there's a big air sock for,
it? That's in the city.
Well, you're saying that just put an air sock up there, then that
No,
counts as airport?
I'm not. It would have to be a recognizable strip there.
Who's recognized? Recognized by the county?
It's a good question, but I'll try to define it a little bit better. From an aerial map, you can easily see it if there's a strip there.
From the county perspective?
If you look at an aerial map, you can see it.
So it'd be recognized, county approved airstrip. And that's
Not all of them are quote county approved.
Well, I think in that instance, if they want to use that as a way to move it a mile away, then it needs to be a
Oh,
county.
yeah,
approved.
if it's,
I mean,
if they're coming up at the last minute, that would be.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
agreed that the county approved. If you want to call it that, then it needs to be county approved in order to fit into that, you know.
And their airstrip should have fit into their property to safely use it to begin with. So this is another example of it making it excessive a mile away. Where their airstrip should have been safely put on their property.
It is, but it's drastically reducing the mileage on these anyway. I mean, we're going from 5 miles.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
We could do that.
This is all over the place. I agree that it needs to be less.
But I think that's a reasonable way to go between those numbers is a mile instead of 5 miles.
Okay.
Unless I get some feedback from people that say it's not, but I can't imagine.
well, we don't have a public or a military landing strip. I can understand a mile for a small plane, but if we had the public type,
You
or
know,
military, for the size of planes coming in, a mile is not enough.
no, you're correct. But we don't, and we won't.
Right, yeah, these are crop dusters.
Oh, yeah, I know, because
They can drop down and.
they come in, yeah, they've already been all over.
No, I just want to put out for your thoughts through the time.
Thanks for bringing it up.
I think if you could clean that up to say that, you know, of a more definitive
Yeah,
existence, not just,
yeah, and I didn't think of someone trying to utilize it.
because I know a couple places where there's an aircraft hangar, between our houses, there's two of them. Buildings that used to house an airplane, looks like an airplane hangar, but they're not used that.
And there's no structure.
Right. So if we could get it into where somehow in your language to say that a county approved airstrip, that means if you want to use that as protection, then it needs to be county approved. So,
Yeah, 'cause
or recognized.
you can go right out here, out 16, what is,
9 miles to go south.
well, there's one closer to Nattle,
Here by the water tower.
yeah, there's one there, and then there's one on out there.
Except this 7.5 mile road, or the
Yeah, Arling's got, he flies his plane all the time. And he wanted me to go with him and fly, and I said, no, I'm pretty crazy for that, no. But the Arling, what,
yeah,
he's gonna be in his 80s anytime.
Well, that's one of the things we gotta start doing on this board, is getting stuff done.
Yeah.
In me, and I'm bragging now.
Which was, well, that's nice, you can think about it.
Where, yeah, we left it, it's kind of wide open, you're right, it's vaguely open, but we're not setting anything, yours is setting a setback.
The biggest thing is that what we've defined so far would be the size of the plane. Because the bigger the plane, if it's a spray plane or something like that, I can understand a mile. But if it's,
it's not the length of the runway that he's talking about. The mile is the distance from the site, from the solar project. The mile has nothing to do with the length of the runway. It's the distance that the panels would have to be from that site, is what the mile is.
You know, I didn't mean to hijack the meeting for this, so
Yeah.
go on to something else.
This is the time to bring that up, right?
Yeah, right, and
So I'll work on that a bit more, get some input from some people.
If you can bring that in the April 9th meeting?
Possibly, but, it's kind of, got me good people to contact.
Yes, we're gonna be talking about LSACs. What else, everyone? Chris, you can talk? What does everyone want to do? Do you want to continue talking from it, or we just want to adjourn until April 9th meeting? Any other topics that people have?
I think we ought to wait until we can hear from at least one more besides Brown County. Because they brought up quite a few loopholes that, where we cut out.
How do you propose pulling if you want to pull the smaller ones out to have a simple document? How do you propose holding which ones exactly
Yeah,
my knowledge of knowledge, I have
Right,
difficulty
which
putting
one,
it up.
yeah, that's part of the question for the board is which ones would we pull into a new, LSAC section to make it clear to people, so here's your rules, and here's your rules, based on the size. So that's, we haven't really, the board hasn't really talked much about that level of detail, so that's something we need to look at, soon. Do we want, okay, so, do we want to go ahead and, if anyone has any questions about, language from Brown Atchison, send those to Steve. It's coming Wednesday, give everyone enough time? 5-6 days? And then that gives,
What's the first you do?
if anyone has any questions about Brown Atchison's language or wording or what do they mean by this, send those to Steve by this coming Wednesday. That way we can give Brown Atchison a week to respond before our April 9th meeting, which I don't know people's vacation schedules.
So on the 9th, are you planning the work session after the,
I don't know, actually.
Yes,
I should look at our agendas first, shouldn't I?
because we'll have at least an hour.
Is there
No board zoning appeals.
no bills?
So basically, it's all discussing that
Well, what's your agenda?
Previously discussed topics. So if we have time for April 9th, what are the answers to everyone's questions on the grants and look at the any letters we might have received from other parents. Does that sound like an acceptable plan?
Sounds good.
We're gonna do what? We're gonna meet after the 9th?
Well, depending on our April 9th agenda, which
Yeah,
may not take very long, but it may.
yeah.
So if we have time within our normal 2-hour custom, we could talk a little about LSACs. And if Doug has some information about,
Okay.
Derek, we can talk about that, or we could move that to future meetings. Does that sound okay? Everyone?
That would be a condition of the agenda.
Question?
You have a question?
No?
If you guys want to email, remember to use the zoning at jacoks.com email. It'll go to Steve.
If you email, use the
Zoning
zoning.
at jacoks.com.
We'll get the same one that Steve emails us, the Brown County comments from.
And the reminders.
Steve, did you have any comments or anything else that you'd like to contribute tonight? We'll look forward to active participation from.
Yes.
We might give you some research assignments, possibly. Everyone's ready to head out this evening? Got an hour back.
Sure. If we spring forward, you get that spring forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was Just breaking in.
How's it going? Busy?
Essentially none of it. Essentially none of it.
Anything you probably got today?
The one that says 326, that is the motion. To the
Well,
entire
it's ready,
thing.
not enough time. I gotta
File
start-
away. You can file it away.
I'll put it
See, you're the only person that can do that.
Depends on whether you
See,
use
but that's how, so this is where this, we accomplished today.
No, we didn't talk to somebody, sir.
So can I?
Whatever you want to do. We can recycle them.
Yeah, I gotta recycle.
I agree. Thank you.
Yes, and so it's telling you, this is so now that the roadway is out.
It's in there. No, but at least it's in there. We have to read it. I mean, we got time to read it.
Well, that's part of the problem. I need to put this on.
Get it back, now we're back with your family. Instead of our normal adjourning at 8, we're warning it. Yeah, yeah.
AI, which work this whole thing into it and say, simplify this. And I get reminders, everyone, yeah, thank you. I'd like to go back and change that.
You put the whole thing in there, didn't you? Yeah. You were, I never saw you out there. Did you send that to Kate?
Yeah, I think she sent that a couple of months ago.
Was that interesting?
Yeah.
It didn't cover what we were.
Yeah, that's what I
We
was.
saw it.
That's what I'm asking, how did it work out? Did you guys approve something?
Nothing's been approved.
But you hope that you have the runway.
Look at the bottom of it.